an application in terms of front end and back end, you will realize that these three technologies will come first as front end technologies, and these two will then come as back end technologies. However, JavaScript sits right in the middle because it helps with the GUIs, giving with creating intuitive GUI using dialogues, and it also creates. There is also a library called jQuery that helps in creating dynamic data pages. So we will talk about dynamic loading data dynamic data using a library called jQuery, and this jQuery is also called Ajax. And so I want us to look into these five technologies that have formed our conversation in application development. And I want us to start with HTML, which is short for Hypertext Markup Language. That is the long for HTML. And remember, we said that it is the markup language that declares or creates the structure for web pages. We also say that it is comprised of tags, and that is another. Okay, tags are opened and closed like this, and that is what I'm doing here. We open and close tags. This is, we opened the tag here and we closed it here. And remember, we said that HTML is transferred or is read using what is called hypertext transfer protocol, which is largely called HTTP, and the encrypted type is called HTTPS. We will also look at the boilerplate structure of a HTML code or a HTML page, and it starts with opening the HTML tag and closing it at the end. This one, when you are coding, is very seamless, so you don't have to keep writing the two. Most of the time it will be auto-generated using what is called IntelliSense, or using your IDE's intelligent sense. And then below the HTML, I want to just declare a simple HTML page. There is what is called the head, and we also close the head here. And the head is a very interesting part of our application because it is where we declare so much. Here we import all the libraries. We import the .css files. We import our favorite icons, favicons, favorite icons. That is the icon that appears as the page loads on the web page. And then below the header, we have the body. Below the head, we have the body, and the body is where our development happens. This is where we create everything. And the kind of things that we create here include things like containers, divs, includes forms, and other kind of other kinds of graphical user interface components. And then that is enough said for HTML. So we go to cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet. style sheets. And these ones, they help in styling. They enhance the look and feel of our HTML pages. Remember, there is a joke that is told in HTML development that HTML does not have looks and it does not have the brain, so it had to rely on CSS and JavaScript for the two, and that is a joke for another day, so we won't go ahead with it. And these cascading style sheets, they are imported into, you write it in a separate code, and then you import it into the HTML header section, or you can type it, or you can just write it inside there. You can just write it inside the header section. For example, here, you can come here and just do what? And just declare a tag called style inside the header, and then you say a component or a section called body will have the following attributes. We will see this. I will be able to demonstrate this in subsequent whatever's. Or you can just go and create a .css file, and you come and you import it into the header. So what I was saying is, for example, we can say if we are creating, if we are introducing it in the header, we'll just come say style, and then style. We finish it here, and then we declare the sections that we want to give some looks. Like, for example, there is body. We can say these curly brackets. I don't know how to write them, but I know they look something like this, or like that. And inside here, you say body. What do you want it to have? Font family. So let me just go back here and show you properly. I'm just going to try to write something here that makes sense for all that looks like a CSS or whatever. So I will write it here. And I'll say the first thing you do. The first thing you do, you open a style tag. This is a HTML tag called style. And then you come here and you say, you highlight the what? The section you want. There is a body section. And then you give it, you open the curly brackets. Let's open them here and close them. And then here you say something like font family, then full colon, Arial, and then you do what? You put a semicolon, and that is a style sheet. So that is you have styled the body section such that whenever anyone types something there without declaring, it will be a what? The font type or the font family will be Arial. So now I want to proceed now to JavaScript, and JavaScript, like I said, sits at the center of either of both. It sits at the center of both front end and back end, and majorly we will use it for what? For enhancing UI, user interface dialogues. And again, we will use it for dynamic loading of database, and it will be implemented using this dynamic loading of data will be implemented using a library called jQuery. No, let's just say jQuery and Ajax. And enough of that is said. And of course, what we do to declare JavaScript, we wait for this tag HTML, and then we open a script tag, and then we write this is how we bring it to HTML. This is script. This is how we bring it to HTML, and it works behind the scenes. Then let's look at PHP. And PHP is a server-side scripting language. It's a server-side scripting language. And this tells you that it will need a server. It will need to run on a server, and one of the default, one of the language of love for server sides, for server, it is for servers, for web servers is Apache. The other one is Nginx. If you are a Windows person, you would be interested in IIS, and you will be okay. And how do we introduce PHP? PHP is introduced like this. This is a HTML tag again, or it's a PHP tag, or whatever it is. But it is a tag. You open that, and then you say PHP. Then you write all your code in between there, and when you are finished, you just come here and using a question mark, and you close like that. That is how you do PHP. And you can dynamically, or you can import PHP into what? You can activate, like for example, you can invoke a PHP file from a HTML page, maybe using a form or something like that, or you can have the code written as part of the HTML. And of course, when you do the PHP like that, you open the PHP tags, the web server will know that this is a server-side script. Again, now we move to the other part of the other technology, and this is MySQL. And MySQL is a relational DBMS, database management system, and it is the language of love for open source developers, and you will see a lot of it. But most of the times when you are doing production level development, you will need to look into other databases, and I don't want to go into the details, but I know you may want to look at PostgreSQL. There is quite a number of them, including oracles and such kind of things, and you will find quite a number of them. And how does this one work with PHP? It works using what is called a connection string. And a connection string will declare the server address, the web server, the database server, the port it is running on. Mostly for MySQL it is port 3306. It will also declare the database inside, the database created inside the server, and it will also create a database or server access username and password. So basically, those 5 technologies I've given a quick overview, and you should be able to put context to why we are relying on them for our journey towards this kind of application development. And remember, we said that the world has moved since this technology was invented, and nowadays it has relied on frameworks. And when we understand this, we will be able to move to the world of frameworks and make a contribution. So thank you, and see you later as we look at these one by one. So thank you. Have a good day.